Thank you very much, Jeffrey, Christiane, Tony, the distinguished panel. I wanted to just come by and wish my friend well on the formal American kickoff of his foundation, and to make a few observations about him and this mission. I was honored to work with Tony Blair when we were both in office. I have been honored by his friendship since, when I was long gone and he was still Prime Minister. And when he decided to leave his old job for a new life, he asked me for some advice, which I have detailed in print, virtually all of which he ignored. Because I told him he ought to take a few months to figure out what he wanted to do with the rest of his life. And instead, he went right to work on the Middle East and climate change and other issues. But I think this Faith Foundation is potentially of enormous significance. And I believe it for 2 or 3 reasons. And as I start the panel, I would like to just say why, from the perspective of someone who has known Tony Blair for many years. First of all, his own religious faith is genuine, deep, and shapes his life. I know this from our private friendship, not from any public pronouncement. Secondly, in the 21st century world where there is growing interdependence but growing inequality of opportunities in incomes, jobs, education, and healthcare, the potential that religion will become a negative force in the face of objectively horrible circumstances for people goes up exponentially. Secondly, in the face of problems that none of us can solve alone, the problems of instability and unsustainability, from terror to the spread of weapons of mass destruction to these global epidemics, and most profoundly to global warming, the potential that people of faith could decide that it is their divine mission to save our common humanity goes up exponentially. So both the upside and the downside of whatever spiritual views we carry around or don't, and however we act on them or don't, will be dramatically greater in the years ahead and will have an impact on a wider circle than was previously the case. That is why I believe this is quite an important undertaking. And some of you know Ibu Patel, one of the panelists, has always been part of our global initiative every year, but we try every year to figure out what the role of religion is in trying to bridge some of the great divides of the world and solve some of these problems. But Tony's foundation will be able to do it in much greater depth in a more consistent way. So I think there is much to be glad about, that a person I think is both a good man as well as a great leader has decided to devote a fair chunk of the rest of his life to this work. We have to ask ourselves, can acts of genuine faith be a source of unity, not division, in the world? I think that depends upon the ability of human beings of deep conviction not to confuse themselves in what they know with the God they believe in and being all-knowing. And then I think the second question is, can acts of faith do good in the larger world? Because if we all believe in the same things, we don't even have to like each other to work together. And in the working, I think we'll wind up finding that we are all children of God. Thank you very much. Thank you. I actually believe that I was supposed to say some formal word of introduction. But here's what I would say. I have learned that there is not only life after politics, there is good life after politics. If you find something that you really believe in. he's found something he really believes in. Thank you.